Hello, I'm Faye and I've been dabbling into romance novels, which is really new to me, and I have been hearing and finding out all about the different tropes typical in romance and chick lit and love stories, however you want to brand them. And one thing I really hate, more than anything else, is ditzy dumb main female characters. Sounds a bit harsh, but I have found 3 books that I'd like to suggest to you if you feel like reading about a clever, go-getter, confident main female protagonist. So, the first one I read was The Wedding Date by, is it Jasmine Guillory? Yes. Now, this has been making the rounds. This is like the super weird Kindle cover. This is about Alexa, the mayor's chief of staff, and she has a shiny degree in law from Berkeley University, and she bumps into Drew in an elevator in a hotel, and he is a pediatric surgeon in LA who, after a few weeks, tends to dump every available pretty blonde in Los Angeles. And they strike up a deal that she will accompany him to his ex's wedding and fake their relationship. Again, one of the major tropes, I believe, fake to true relationship, and I did really like this. This, because she's working in Berkeley and he's in LA, I thought was actually not what I expected. Quite a cute story, really, about a long-distance relationship between 2 professionals, which I really liked. I've been in long-distance relationships and they suck, but I imagine they can be only even more challenging if you have to juggle a full-time job and you aren't, as I was at the time, a student with a bit more free time. So I thought this was really sweet. I really flew through it. Jeez. And I would recommend it. The Wedding Day. Good read. The next recommendation is the slightly cringily titled A Time to Fall by Jess Vonn. This was, for me, for free on Amazon, which that's always nice. It's pretty sexy, and it is about Winnie and Cal. Winnie has fled Chicago. She is a journalist and arrives in Bloomsbury, the small town setting of this novel, to become the new editor of the failing newspaper of the town. And Winnie is the, how do you call it, like the head of the Chamber of Commerce in this town, a very beloved sort of son of the town, and more literally the son of Winnie's landlady. So their paths are destined to cross and meet. There's a lot of insta-lust in this one, so they sort of strike up a deal, much like in The Wedding Date, where they will not commit to an actual relationship. They both have their different reasons for not wanting to commit, but you know, they still want some sexy time. The sex in this is really positive, I thought. Really sort of yeah, just really good attitude to sex being something that you can enjoy without guilt, and also that the girl should get as much out of it as the boy does. In this case, the pleasure of her is really at the center of their deal, which I thought was really nice. The characters are caricatures in a way. They both have like their dark pasts, and she's this like quirky, clever girl, and he's this charming golden boy who has like commitment issues. That can be a bit cringy at times, but I did like this Gilmore Girls small town setting with quirky side characters with lots more sex. So I would also recommend this one, even though I did think it was a bit more like roll your eyes worthy than The Wedding Date. And then finally, I also really want to recommend The Kiss Quotient by Helen Hoang. I've talked about this before. This kind of started my love for romance novels in the recent past. This is about Stella and Michael. Stella, a successful and brilliant econometrist who happens to have Asperger's, and Michael, a male escort with daddy issues. And she hires him to teach him more about sex and how to have a romantic relationship. So again, very much a sort of faking it scenario, with characters then finding that they do like each other, they don't just lust for each other. So I also really enjoyed this. I thought all of these 3 books share that they have really strong, confident, well, not confident, that's not true. They have female characters that should be really confident because they have a lot going for them, and I did really enjoy that. The guys are nice to all of them, which I enjoy. I am not too much of a fan of the sort of dick main character who has a heart of gold, I swear. So the Kiss Quotient also has this highly intelligent main character who finds a guy who just sort of enriches her already very rich life, which I thought was great. And then, yeah, just as a little sort of side note that I think there is lots more out there that I haven't fully discovered yet, I am currently reading Resistance is Futile by Jenny T. Colgan. This is so shiny because it's from the library. This also centres around a mathematician, and she has just taken up her new post at a university in, oh, I'm not actually quite sure, some swanky university. And I'm thinking she's also not had too much success in the love department, even though she is highly esteemed in her academic field. So I'm really looking forward to getting into this a bit more. I've only just sort of read the first 2 chapters. Give me some suggestions of books that you've really liked that have really clever main characters. I find that I can relate to them really well, not because I am oh so clever, but just because, you know, my sort of intellectual and professional development is important to me, and I've gotten a bit tired of reading the sort of trope of a girl sort of just bumbling along in life and having lost everything, and oh, a guy comes along and shows them the way. Yeah, I don't want that. I just want a guy and a girl to have good chemistry and have stuff going on in their own respective lives as well, and just enjoy the time they're spending together. That's what I want to read about. Give me some suggestions if you can think of the perfect book that would fit that bill, and I'm going to check in with you soon. Bye bye!